Hey, I just want to do this quick video on the new market leaders on the stock markets in recent history. So, for years and decades, it's been like the Dow Jones Industrial Average has been the leading indicator on which like the global economy, how is it gonna go for like maybe the rest of the year. But we have seen like this year that since the Dow Jones index reached its peak on February 19, and when the corona crisis started, the market fell aggressively. Close to 40% of its value was gone within a couple of weeks till it reached a bottom on March 23, and then the market started pulling up higher. But when it started to pulling up higher, it started to lag again when it reached on June 8th, when earnings season started. And then the market started to pull back away. It fell sharply on June the 11th, but it started to pick up again. But it hasn't reached the high that it reached on February 19, when like the corona crisis started. So if we are looking at the S&P 500 index, we can see that the S&P 500 index also has like the same pattern. It reached a peak on February 19, and then the corona crisis started, and then the market dropped, and then on February 23 it hit the bottom, and then the market started to pick up higher. And then when earnings season started again in June 10th, the market fell sharply, but it found enough support on this level here to start to moving higher. But what we've seen in the S&P 500 is different from that we saw on the Dow Jones Industrial. The S&P is trading at the level where it was trading on February 19. It's trading at a very, very crucial level. So this level here is very, very important for the S&P 500. So it's a make or break level here. It's either the market will retreat, make a pullback sharply, maybe come back to this level and then find enough support to move back higher, or the market will just break this level and go back even higher. So the S&P 500, it's leading the Dow Jones in a way because it is moving higher, but the Dow Jones has been lagging when it comes to technical analysis. So when we are looking at the Nasdaq, on the Nasdaq there's a different picture here. The market reached a peak there on February 19, and then it fell on March 23. It found a bottom, and then it started moving higher. But look at what happened here on the Nasdaq. On June 4th, when earnings season started, the Nasdaq broke higher, and made a new high from the February 19 peak. It made a new high, and then it retraced to come back and test this level here, and then it find enough buyers to move the market higher even more. So since then the market is making new highs up until this previous Friday, where the market closed in 11,153 points. So the reason for the Nasdaq for it to be moving higher, we can see that the Nasdaq is composed of mainly these companies. It's only these companies that are mainly pushing the markets. It's Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Tesla, Nvidia, and Netflix. These are the companies that are only pushing the Nasdaq to move higher. And I tweeted this a couple of weeks ago that almost every person in the world, every professional investor, every ETF, and every computer system in the world is chasing returns on the same 6 companies, which is our Facebook, Netflix, Tesla, Amazon, and Google. So it's only these companies that have been trying to keep the market together to move higher and higher and higher, because like technology has been in demand since the lockdown started. Technology and entertainment has been more in demand since the lockdown started. So since Nasdaq is mostly technologically based rather than the other two indices, the Dow Jones, it has like a couple of technology companies in it, but it's mainly a mix with banks and also manufacturing companies. That's why it has been lacking on this period of time. So what I've been seeing here is that there's almost the same pattern on every stock on the Nasdaq there. So if we take a look at Apple, for instance, if we are looking at Apple, you see the market reached the peak, it dropped, and then it moved higher. Then it closed Friday with this bearish looking kind of candlestick. And then when we move it and look at Amazon as well, the market reached the peak on February 19, it dropped, and then it moved high. But look at what has been happening like for the past couple of weeks on the on Amazon stock. It reached a high of 3,330 US dollars, but since then it has been consolidating for some time. So it's either Amazon will break out higher, or it can break this pattern and maybe try to move lower. And also when we are looking at Microsoft as well, if we can look at Microsoft as well, also Microsoft is having the same pattern as well. It moved higher, made a peak on February 19, dropped, and then the market started to shoot straight up. And then the market started to move straight up as well. So look at what Microsoft is doing. Microsoft made a new high somewhere around here on January 10 when earnings season started, and then the market moved lower, and then it made this high again sometime this month on August the 5th and the 4th. It made this high. So this is some sort of like a double top pattern that is made there. So we all know what is a double top pattern. Double top, it's close to a reversal pattern if we can like look at technical analysis closely as well. So it's making this some sort of a double top like pattern here. Microsoft, same as Amazon has been kind of consolidating for some time. Only Apple that was only moving up. So if we look at Google as well, I'm just making an example on all these 6 stocks together. How are they performing? It made a top, it dropped, and then it started to move higher. Look at this pattern right here. It made a high, and then it made a low, and then it made a higher high. But since after this high, it never made a new high. So it's possible that the market can maybe try to retest this level somewhere at 1,540, and then the market will move even lower down, because like these patterns are all these companies are almost making a similar pattern, like a top pattern. They're almost making almost a similar pattern. There's this high, and then a low, and then it made a new high, and then now it's been consolidating in a flag-like formation the past couple of days. Look at how it's been consolidating the past couple of days. This is Google stock that we are looking at right now. It's been consolidating the past couple of days, of which a possible reversal maybe to the lows somewhere around here is possible. So I've noticed something on the CME website. I've noticed the pattern that has been happening for the past trading sessions now. On July 31, on July 31st, On July 31st, the trading volume on the Nasdaq futures, let me just make this thing be visible. Yeah, on July 31st, the trading volume on July futures was high compared to the other days. It had like 632 contracts were traded that day. And then on July 7th as well, close to 500,000 contracts were traded that day. And also on August 11, close to 500,000 contracts were traded that day. So the trend that I noticed right here is that on these days where the market, okay, let us wait for the chart to come back. Okay, so I'm gonna go down to 4-hour charts on the Nasdaq, right? Okay, so on the days where we saw like a high volume of trading on July 31st, on July 31st, this was July 31st, that's where the market fell aggressively, and then buyers or somebody from the Fed came, and then maybe there was something that was said, and then the market started to pull back higher again. And then again on August the 7th, the market again made this top, and then it started to drop aggressively. And then again on August the 11th, there was a high trading volume as well. More than 562,000 contracts were traded that day. And then the market again, it dropped aggressively. So when there's a higher volume of trading, the past 3 sessions that I've highlighted here, the market has dropped aggressively, and then it was bought higher on July 31st. But on August 7th, the market reached a peak, and then it sold aggressively, and then consolidated for a day, and then on July 11th, and it sold aggressively again. So this was Friday's close. This was the previous Friday's close. We saw that the market made touched this top here. It made a top, and then it made a low, and then it came back to this level again to test this top again. And then look at what happened here. It made this bearish like formation. Let me remove this thing here. It reached this level here. It made a high, and then it made this huge bearish candle. And then ever since this huge bearish candle, the market hasn't made any new high, but in fact it made a new low on the intraday session on Friday. So this signals that a possible reversal on the Nasdaq is highly possible in the coming days. So there's this double top formation that we are seeing here, and then if you can still move with technical analysis, we see that there is this trend line that has been that the market has been respecting, like for the past sessions. When it comes to the trend line, the market has been bought and then it moves higher. The market was bought from this level and moved higher. It came to this level and it was bought, it moved higher, and then the market came back again to this level. It was bought and then it moved higher. So we are expecting that the market will come back to retest this trend line. Possibly, if it happens that the market retests the trend line, it can break lower to this level here. If not, the market doesn't break this trend line, it would come to this trend line and then maybe find enough buyers to push it higher to go maybe to 12,000 points. So I hope this video will be very, very eye-opening and very, very educational. And one more thing that I saw during the past weeks when I was browsing the internet, I saw that the Nasdaq, the CME group is going to make a Nasdaq volatility index. It's only gonna track the Nasdaq. So it's only gonna work like the VIX, you know. if you know VIX that tracks the S&P 500, this is VIX. Yeah, it's gonna work almost similar like VIX. The VIX tracks the volatility of the S&P 500. If the S&P 500 moves higher, volatility moves lower. If the S&P 500 moves lower, volatility moves higher. And look at what is happening here on the volatility index. There's this huge like falling wedge pattern that is currently forming here. There's this huge falling wedge pattern that is currently forming here. So I think the market is due for a correction, maybe in the next coming days or weeks or so. So if volatility starts moving higher, maybe to these levels, we would see the S&P 500 you would see the S&P 500 perhaps starting to move lower. So you see on the S&P 500 there's this formation that is here. We're also seeing there is this double top there on the S&P 500 as well. It touched and then it touched again. This is the 4-hour chart that we are talking about. It touched this level. It touched the high, the high of which was 33. It was 33.87. It touched the high, it pulled back, and then it touched the high again. So now it's currently trading on the trend line. So you see as well that volatility on the S&P 500 is starting to lose steam, and also the volatility index as well is starting maybe to try to pick up to go higher. So if the S&P 500 drops, if the S&P 500 drops, maybe it can maybe do a correction, maybe down somewhere to this level, and then maybe on that level there we may find some buyers maybe that can come in then to buy this market, and then it can start moving high. This was the major resistance that it broke, so it needs to come back and maybe test this level. Maybe it can move lower, or it will bounce from this level and then it's gonna move high. So as well as the Nasdaq, we are seeing it that it needs to move lower, perhaps to the trend line here. The trend line here, it has been respecting for some time. It touched here, then it touched there. So we need to see it coming to the trend line. Perhaps if it doesn't break below the trend line, we're gonna see the market coming to retest the 10,700 level, or it's gonna come and touch this level, then it's gonna find buyers, then the market is gonna move higher. So I hope this video will be educational. I have a Telegram channel where I post most of my analysis, and then I also have a WhatsApp group where I post my analysis as well. So my name is Bongiseni Innocent Dlamini. So I own an entity called Interpret Asset Management. So I'll be doing more of these videos on a regular basis, just to update you guys mostly on the markets, on what is happening, on what trends are happening on the markets as well. You can follow me on Twitter at Dlamini. I also dish out some more information there for free, and yeah, you can see a lot of my stuff there. So thanks very much. Goodbye. See you on the next video.